And a pleasant good evening to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. A look at the overnight action here as we get ready for sports betting here on Wednesday, September 23rd. Big day of Major League Baseball. We saw some big things happen on Tuesday night, some clinches going on with the M's and the Yankees there. We'll talk a few of the games, recap some of the games from yesterday, and preview tomorrow's actually a couple of day games there on tap. Mostly baseball to talk about here, but maybe we cover some of the headlines as well. And good to see Chris in the chat today. I hope you had a good day, Chris. There he is. I saw him on the leaderboard there. And Kane is here in the chat. So we're already looking good in the chat yesterday. We got up to an okay start on the show with you guys. Chris, you're welcome to always come on here. I know it's late there where you are, but hey, I'll be here every night. Hopefully from anywhere from 2 to 2:30 Eastern, get the show going, recap the action, tell you what went on last night in the world of sports, and then get you ready for that overnight action. Trying to settle the pitchers here for tomorrow and look at some of the games. But how about those Yankees there with the win? Austin Wells, RBI double. The Yankees have won 20 of 28. They clinched that playoff berth with that walk-off by Caballero there last night. The Yankees are back in the playoffs once again for the 16th time in 21 seasons, and they will move on here in the postseason. Also, Seattle Mariners there yesterday. Josh Naylor, a 3-run triple. Man, the Mariners have won 15 of their last 16 games. They didn't cover that run line, that's for sure. Only won by 1, but the Mariners there get that 5th straight win and celebrate the postseason as well. Cleveland over Detroit. The Guardians have won 16 of 18 as the Tigers continue to fall apart. One of the most bizarre innings you're ever going to see, right? A couple of 3 infield grounders basically turning into run-scoring plays. You had Skubal trying to flip the ball through his legs over the first baseman's head. Then you had the bizarre concussion there as Fry was hit in the face with that fastball from Skubal. And it's just all falling apart right now for the Tigers. They've lost 19 of their last 26 games. And Cleveland ties the Tigers for first place right now in the American League Central there. And man, can the Tigers even hold off the Astros now? Here we're talking like the Tigers are doomed, but they're only kind of tied there with the Guardians, but doesn't feel like they can hold on here right now. It just has been an awful time. They finally finished that game, Phillies and Marlins, last night after that rain delay. Schwarber, 53rd home run of the season, but Miami's won 11 of their last 12. They beat the Marlins. They beat the Phillies last night. Also, the other big game, there's probably 3 big games on Wednesday to be looking at here. And Toronto and the Red Sox continuing that series. Red Sox won it there yesterday as Nathaniel Lau had a couple of RBIs in that one. So the Red Sox still in pretty good position here, hanging on, especially with Detroit slipping. 1 game lead over Detroit right now for that number 2 wild card spot. but we'll see. We got more games tomorrow. We're in the last week of play here in the major leagues. So Mets and Cubs, probably the other good one to look at tomorrow. Last night, the Cubs blew a 6-1 lead. Nimmo hit a 3-run home run to tie it. Alvarez, 2-run home run, and the Mets come back for once, right? And they have still lost 11 of their last 15, but big win for the Mets as they're holding off the charging Diamondbacks and Reds here at this point. Reds couldn't capitalize. The Pirates took it to them early. All 6 runs were scored in the second inning in the 4-2 win for Pittsburgh. There, Singer was having a tough time. He got that home run hit off him by De La Cruz. The kid in the outfield caught the ball, and that was it. 6 runs, and they were all in the second inning, 4-2. In that one is, O'Neal Cruz, of course, hit the big home run for the Bucks, a 2-run shot earlier in the 4-run inning, but I couldn't help that kid caught that ball off of Ellie De La Cruz yesterday. Cincinnati had won 5 in a row, but that put a stop to that. So Arizona and Cincinnati still 1 game back here of the Mets right now, and the Mets came up clutch for once. So I think those are the games you'll be looking at today, the featured games, right? Detroit and Cleveland, Boston and Toronto, and the Mets and the Cubs. There's still other things to shake out, but those are the 3 games I think to keep an eye on here on Wednesday. Maybe some other key results there yesterday. We know Texas has been kind of doomed, but they lost to the Twins again as the Twins beat them there once again. And late night, it was basically a playoff game. It felt like there between the Giants and the Cardinals. They both are kind of out of it there, but Cardinals were able to celebrate the late win there, 9-8 on the road in a wild one late last night. And also the Astros lost to the A's. A's do it again and keep that dominant streak over the Astros there in that one. So Houston 1 game back here currently, but a 4-game losing streak. They're kind of a mini Tigers here at this point. One of those teams is going to get in there, it feels like, Detroit or Houston, not counting them out. But all right, also, how about ABS? We're going to see the official robo-ump calls there. Each team will get 2 challenges per game, 1 in extra innings, 1 more in extra innings. I think if you're out, only the batter, the pitcher, and the catcher can ask for the robo-ump, tap the helmet. We know how it works, and I think it's going to be a good move for Major League Baseball, frankly, moving forward. Also, saw some news in football here yesterday. Jackson Dart is going to be announced as a starter here for Russell Wilson after Wilson struggled in that last game despite that 400-yard performance a couple of weeks ago. How about the CFL? They're going to totally revamp the sport that we love. With the shorter field, they're going to get rid of the 55-yard line and then also move the goalpost back to the end of the end zone. They want to eliminate that 1-point play that people don't even know if they're a Canadian football fan half the time when it happens. So they also shorten the end zone from 15 to 10 yards. So we'll see how that goes. There's already plenty of scoring. I don't know what they're worried about. I'd rather see the 55-yard field, and maybe I like the 1-point rouge, but that one's going away. That's the one where if they miss the field goal, it can be a 1-pointer there in the end zone. So, all right, get to some of the plays. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Let me say hello to everyone. Kane talking about the Guardians there. He thinks the Phillies will win it. Thank you. Here, Kane says you're looking for – I think we're always looking for cappers here at Tony's Picks. They told me to get some cappers going here. Trevor's here today as well. Thank you for being here. Get started with some of the previews on the show, but just want to cover some of those headlines here. Also, Ryder Cup this weekend. I think we can look. Team USA's got a lot going on, man. I mean, while Team Europe just goes on about their business with their press conferences and how important it is to win the Ryder Cup, Team USA's got all these surrounding issues, trying to dodge all the talk about why they have to get paid. They've ended up just basically donating all their money to charity anyways, as if they didn't have enough money, but the Ryder Cup players in the U.S. were going to get paid. I guess they still are. And Scotty said, we'll just donate all our money to charity. But then you have Bryson DeChambeau basically getting called out by Brandel Chambly in the preview on the Golf Channel. Said he's only interested in promoting himself and not Team USA. So, man, you got to I don't care if it's a Bethpage Black. You got to take Europe again. It's always a disaster, it feels like, with the United States there. So, all right, let's get ready and just talk about the games here on Wednesday in Major League Baseball here on Night Moves. And remember, we're talking about the moves here, right? I mean, we're just getting on the air after the previous night's games. You're going to see kind of the short movement here and try to get started with some of those. So, all right. Kane says, where do I start? You're here, my man. Just start firing away with your picks. Well, you'll find your way to the airwaves for sure, Kane. That's how I did it. I started in the chat on a lot of these shows years ago. And, well, here I am on Night Moves, for better or worse. All right, let's get into the games here right now. I want to get your plays, Kane. Let me know. Let's get you going here and see what we can do on Night Moves. All right. Started off here with the Nationals taking on the Red Hot Braves in this one. Man, the Braves have been solid, haven't they, with this 10-game winning streak here right now? They have Bryce Elder going here against Alvarez here. For Alvarez, we haven't seen too much of this pitcher, this left-hander here for the Nationals this season, but Alvarez is a guy who in 4 starts has a 2.84 ERA and a 1.11 whip coming in so far. Look, Elder's struggled this season, but for some reason he's kind of turned it around here late. It seems like towards the late part of the season when everybody wanted to start to fade him, that's when he started to heat up, or at least that's when the Braves started to win, when Elder was on the mound. That's what it feels like to me. Alvarez, 4 starts, or 2-2 with Alvarez on the mound. So I don't know, 5.36 ERA for Elder and a 3.10 BABIP doesn't look too great for sure, but there's no doubt the Braves have been hot. Elder's pitched a little bit better, and they are the ones with some momentum for sure with those 10 straight wins. Washington's lost 6 straight at home to Atlanta. I'll take the over, though, in this one. Atlanta's gone over in 7 of their last 10, and 5 of the last 7 in this series has gone over. So let's keep rolling here with these Braves bats and see what happens. They've had a couple injuries here, but I'll take the over here in this one. All right. And see, there you go. Kane and Ramon. We might have a show where we have competing plays. He's got an under here, and we'll see. Yeah, you got the rookie. You got Andrew Alvarez out there. We'll see how he fares up against Elder. Hey, Elder not too shabby of late. It was rough sledding most of the season with Elder. All right, the Milwaukee Brewers are going to be at my Padres here, and going to have Chad Patrick here, I believe, for the Brewers in this one. For Patrick coming in, 3-8 record. Brewers are 7-15 with Patrick on the mound, but they are 7-14 to the under when he pitches. So he doesn't get a whole heck of a lot of run support when he's out there. He does have a 3.14 BABIP, so can get in a little bit of trouble. For Dylan Cease here, 8-12 record in 31 starts, 4.64 ERA. He's been, a disappointment for sure from what you might expect when you go out and get Dylan Cease, especially in a season where you've made the playoffs now. You're in the postseason, and the Padres will be having to count on Dylan Cease actually to get something done in a big spot. This might not be a totally big spot right now. These two teams actually could be settled in their spots. I mean, the Brewers having that 3-game lead, 2.5-game lead over the Phils, even though both teams are kind of bumbling along to the finish here. It feels like Padres do have a winning streak coming in at 4 games, trying to chase down the Cubs. They're only a game and a half back now of the Cubs. Here's the key with that, right? In the wild card series, you get no home games. I mean, you get basically it's going to be probably, the Dodgers hosting either the Mets, Diamondbacks, or Reds for all, the best of 3. And the Cubs will host the Padres unless the Padres can turn it around here. So I think some of those wild card matchups, especially in this situation, that's really something to play for. I know that, they want to get those division winners there, if they'll get there and they'll get there by, but maybe there is a little bit of motivation here for the Padres to catch the Cubs. You have to, it's a 3-game series, and it's at, only in one city. So I'm going to take the Padres to keep rolling here right now. Am I biased on that one? Not really. All right, let's see. Kane's doing me a solid here. Kane, you're my man today to bring us the comments, so thank you. And let's see, he said the Brewers will want that home field advantage for sure in all the postseason. They're not playing like it, but neither are the Phillies at this point. They've run into kind of a brick wall there with Miami, red hot Miami. So kind of tough. Some of these teams, so weird right now how some of these teams are playing so well. Some of the weak teams like Atlanta and Miami this season playing well here right now. Maybe even this team, the Orioles, are feeling like they're playing a little bit better. I know they won yesterday here, and they're 9 games under 500, but Shane Baz goes here for the Rays, going up here against Wells. Man, Wells has been terrific, no doubt about it, but Tampa Bay, they're toast. For sure here right now. Baz, 30 starts, an ERA of 5, a whip of 1.35 coming in for Tyler Wells here. He's been great, man. He's been looking good so far. Just a few starts for sure, but I think Wells can probably have a pretty good outing here against Tampa Bay. Baltimore's gone under in 6 straight, and 10 or 11 straight at home. I didn't work on all my trends just yet, but every game pretty much is going under with Baltimore right now. It's a 6-0 shutout on Tuesday. So I think Wells can probably deal against these guys again. Baltimore's another one of those teams that play a little bit better here down the stretch with winning 13 of their last 20. Meanwhile, Tampa Bay has lost 5 of their last 6 overall and 12 of their last 17. So I think that Wells here probably can have a pretty good outing. That total looks a little bit high considering the Rays couldn't even get their bats going yesterday. So I don't know. They might have a hard time scoring here again. I'm going to go under here in this one with Tampa Bay and Baltimore. I think Wells is likely to have a pretty strong outing here right now. And I think Baz, look, the Orioles aren't necessarily crushing it during this stretch, but they're getting timely hitting and some pretty good pitching. So I'm going to go under here with Tampa Bay and Baltimore. All right. Thank you, Kane. Great to have those comments from you. He'll take the O's in the first 5, or maybe first 5 money line with the O's. Yeah, I'm going to be on the O's. Probably, comes a point where I kind of stop using some of the teams that aren't qualified for the playoffs as premiums, but I actually don't mind going back to some of them as well after they are long eliminated. Some of these winning streaks are uncanny here right now. And it feels like the Orioles are playing pretty well. Okay, one team that does need a win and did not come through would be the Cincinnati Reds. And this would be a good matchup for sure, given the circumstances here for the Reds and the pitching matchup with Paul Skeens going up against Hunter Green. Green's been solid so far, an 18 starts, 7-4 record, just pitched at Gem. Last out, man, went long. You sometimes gotta know that when a pitcher does go lengthy because they're having a stellar game, and they could finish strong, right? Especially with Green, went all the way in that one hitter. But Skeens, man, this guy just keeps chugging along, but oh man, they don't win his games. 10-10 record, 16-15 of the Pirates with Skeens on the mound, 2.03 ERA, 0.95 WHIP. Like I said, it's hard for the writers to move away from Paul Skeens, especially when you've been touting him all season in your columns, and the numbers do shake out. I mean, if there was any offense at all, remember Pittsburgh, 3.6 runs per game. This is amongst the lowest in the league by far. So that's what's been the problem for Skeens and every other pitcher. 199 batting average against here for Skeens. For Green coming in, 7-4 record, as I said, .92 whip, 189 batting average against, even better than Skeens. And his BABIP is far better than Skeens too here. So this is going to be a hot game and one the Reds need, man. Can they get this one against Paul Skeens here with Hunter Green? And a very important game given the Reds' current situation right now. The Reds 1 game back of the Mets. They're tied with Arizona, so you got to catch one and you got to shake one, basically, for both the Reds and the Diamondbacks here right now. So it felt like the Reds kind of, I don't want to say choked it yesterday. Pittsburgh got those 4 runs at the top of the second inning, and, well, the Reds got a couple of back, but that was it. So I'm going to take Cincy here. I think they can finally get this one against Skeens. Maybe it will be a better situation with Green on the mound. Singer was okay in the rest of the way, and so was the pitching. But I'll take the Reds here in this one. I'll try to beat Skeens here with Green. All right, and see, Kane's with me on the Reds here. All right. Kane said the A's were a good play. And Chris is still with us. He says we'd get Chris on, but you know what? He's probably in his pajamas at this point. 2 of his favorite pitchers here go with the under with Skeens and Green. Yeah, I think that's makes the matchup that much more interesting considering the stakes right now for the Reds. Who'd have thought that the Reds, right? Chris, that the Reds would be battling for this playoff position here of late. They've done a great job. I think they've had a good season, have the Reds. All right, I think this is one of the 3 more important games. Not that those games with those teams that are trying to still qualify. Oops, supposed to time these banners a little better. All right, I think this qualifies as one of the more important games on the card. Yes, I just mentioned that Cincinnati game and those teams that are still battling for a position. But with Detroit and Cleveland here, we know the stakes are high, and Cleveland caught Detroit last night and did it quite impressively, actually, in that 5-2 win. So you have Flaherty going up against Tanner Bybee here tonight in this one. So for Flaherty here, important start for sure, given the circumstances here tonight with these 2. But, man, the Tigers just keep on falling here right now with this tailspin that they just can't seem to get out of right now. And Cleveland with a little bit of momentum at home, and Tanner Bybee going 11-11 record, 4.34 ERA. Pitchers are almost kind of mirror images of one another statistically, although Flaherty, again, for whatever reason, he never gets the run support. Both pitchers have had 30 starts. Both pitchers have an ERA, in the mid-4s. They both have a whip around 1.25. Both have a batting average against of about 245. The difference is the Guardians are 17-13 with Bybee on the mound, but the Tigers are 9-21 with Flaherty on the mound. So that would shake down to some run support for the most part, I guess. Maybe that's variance here, but Detroit with a 7-game losing streak right now, and the fact that Cleveland has won 5 straight at home, 11 of their last 12, with a seems like almost a juicy price here at this point. Look, Detroit can maybe shake out of it at any time. It had to be disturbing. I mean, what is Tariq Skubal doing trying to throw the ball underneath his legs, and he tosses it over the first baseman's head on a no-look play, and this is supposed to be the most important series now of the season, given how the collapse has been going here for the Detroit Tigers. So at $1.25 or maybe even $1.30, I got to take the Cleveland Guardians here to keep going. It just feels like a bad investment right now with the Detroit Tigers. Yes, they can have an uptick tomorrow, but man, it has been disaster. And like I said, I think the problems with Detroit reach far, from the field And maybe that's been kind of the factor here. So Kane is on the Marlins money line and run line there in their matchup coming up here against the Bills. Also, Kane says team total over. Thank you, Kane. In this one with Cleveland. All right, next up, another one of those red hot teams that have nothing to play for in the Miami Marlins here. Miami's been red hot here now of late. They got it done there again against the Bills there last night. After the rain delay there, the Marlins were able to get the right scoring update up there. 6-5 victory there for the Marlins last night over the Phillies. They had that rain delay after the game ended up being tied, and ends up in a 6-5 win here for Miami over Philadelphia. Miami stays on a roll right now with 7 straight wins here, including 5 straight on the road. Phillies lost 4 of their last 5 coming in. Miami's gone over in 10 of their last 14. Philadelphia has gone over in 11 of their last 13, including 7 straight at home. 5 straight between these two have gone over here. Luzardo comes in with an ERA just over 4, 1.25 whip, and a 3.27 BABIP for Weathers here. Just his 8th start of the season, but a 3.21 ERA, 1.21 whip, 238 batting average against. I think that's promising for Weathers because, it's easy to be critical of Weathers so far, maybe in his career, but it seemed like he's just been steady enough that he's not worthy of any criticism. It seems like he just kept improving. It was unfortunate to get saddled with another injury, but he's looking pretty good here right now. And Miami's had a great week at the plate for sure. They're smacking the ball right now. So Luzardo hasn't been that great at home. I think this price is probably too high, but more likely I'll probably take the over in this one at 8.5. That's where we're seeing it right now. A little uptick to the over at minus 115 at a couple of books right now. DraftKings looks like they're shading the over a little bit as well. I'll go over here with Miami and Philly. All right, next up, the White Sox taking on the Yankees here. Hey, we had the White Sox on that run line last night, so why not? We were able to get one done there with the Yankees getting the 3-2 win. Yeah, it was good pitching, it felt like, from Smith there, right? And let me make sure I got the right line here currently. 365. I thought we were dealing with a sports book here. 365, 8 over 15. That's probably where it opened here right now. Feels pretty steady with that total here. I've got Alexander here going in this one for the White Sox here. Tyler Alexander. I'm not sure all the books are showing him yet, but Alexander's an opener for sure. He's appeared in 50 games so far this season with an ERA of 5. So the White Sox will not quite have as steady of a situation here tonight going up against Fried and the Yankees. Fried actually should be able to have a better time of it than the Yankees did last night. Coming in, Fried has been very, very solid in his last several starts here right now. New York's actually covered the run line in a lot of these games where they have large lines. It's just that you got to lay a hefty price even on the run line here. For Fried, 18-5, 2.92 ERA, 1.1 whip coming in. So, look, I think yesterday I was, kind of talking. I'm not going to talk some trash about taking the White Sox on a run line, but I said, hey, I'd rather take the White Sox on the run line tonight than the Rockies on the run line. And that was the case. White Sox hung in there. It was 2-1. They were taking care of business until that they got it late and then the walk-off win there. And the Yankees made the playoffs. So maybe could be a little bit of a hangover here, but I just think it's a pretty big mismatch here. I'm going to actually go under here. I'll say that Fried gets a little bit of a tune-up here, and the Yankees probably they might mash them here actually, but since that line is so high, I'll take the under for free to deal, and then maybe the White Sox with the Yankees on a little bit of hangover here. Not that they're, not that their position is anything to be totally partying about here right now. The Yankees certainly would like to try to ease their way into the division title here, just trailing basically by one game against Toronto. So I don't think they're totally partying it up there tonight. All right. Thank you, Kane, man. You're really pulling me through here on this right now. Take the over there. The Yankees bullpen, right? There's no doubt the Yankees bullpen, they're struggling. Kind of like the game last night. I actually got a push in a game over here at Tony's Picks last night on that late game with LA and Arizona over 9 runs. But on my write-up, I said, well, the starters here will probably have a great time. We'll probably see a very low-scoring game early, and then these bullpens always blow up, and that's what happened. I didn't get the win, but at least the write-up was correct, even if it was a push. All right. Yeah, Kane, hey, you know what to do. You just hit up. You can get the address right off the website there, Kane. We'd really appreciate it. Man, we'd love to have you stop by. Thank you very, very much, Kane. Okay, let's keep it rolling here right now. I'll take the under in that one. Now, this is, I think, one of the 3 most important games. Like I said, there are some other games with playoff implications here, but, I think I have not changed the pictures from last night. All right, faux pas number 1. I hope they keep me on the air here. Crochet and Scherzer are the pitchers here in this one. The price was wrong, too. It's almost like I just didn't update this one. It's easier to do the graphics. So in the shorts, in the series, you could just type over them. Wish I had a fancy graphics maker like Tony. All right, Red Sox and Blue Jays here right now with Crochet. Maybe I get AI to do it. Crochet and Scherzer here. Crochet on the road here. Great pitching matchup for sure in this one as well with Crochet. 17-5, 22-9 are the Red Sox with Crochet on the mound. 105 whip, 220 batting average against Max Scherzer. 9-7 here. 10-5 to the over is Scherzer in his 15 decisions, a 5.06 ERA. It hasn't been great for Max, but hey, you're going to give him a chance here in a big game up against the Red Sox. And Toronto trying to hang on to first place here right now after losing last night's game. Boston, they're still battling, making sure they get in the wild card. Nothing taken for granted here. They are 1 game up on the Tigers, 2 game up on the Astros, trailing the Yankees by 3 and the Blue Jays by 4. But more importantly, they just want to get this wild card spot, and that was a pretty important win there for them yesterday. Maybe that there is just a tiny bit more motivation here, but again, the Yankees are right on the tail of the Blue Jays. So great game, great situation here, handicapping situation, if you will, between these 2 teams, Boston and Toronto here tonight. Toronto has gone under in 12 of their last 17 games right now. Boston's won 4 of their last 6. They've won 6 of their last 8 on the road. Boston's lost 8 of the last 12 meetings between these 2 teams, but Toronto's lost 5 of 6 coming in. They're 4-1 their last 5 at home, and Boston, though, on the road, making them a favorite, though, like this. Crochet's been awesome. No doubt about it. I mean, he is the challenger here also to Tariq Skubal and the American League Cy Young race for sure, going 17-5. So we could get 118. Where are the 20-game winners? Baseball, not like it used to be. Okay, I'm going to go under, though, here in this one. I know I said Scherzer's been going over, but Crochet's 13-18 to the under. Scherzer's got to come up big here tonight. Doesn't he in this one, with given the situation, Toronto needing to keep pace here, keep hanging on right now, and yesterday was only 4-1, so I got to go with the under here again with the Red Sox and Toronto. All right, Kane says here, great analysis. I don't know why you wouldn't be accepted here. Blue Jays with plus money, too much to pass up here at home, right? And also taking the under there with these great veteran pitchers here. All right. And now I think this one is, got to make sure I do the banners right. All right. Now this one is definitely a matchup where important, right? One of the three games where both teams are kind of battling in position. Like I said, the Cubs can feel a little bit safe in the playoff spot anyway, for sure. They're in. I mean, we know that, but trying to hold off the Padres here by 1.5 right now. Meanwhile, the Mets are in the third position in the wild card with Arizona and Cincinnati right behind them. And so important here tonight with Tang on the mound for Jonah Tang. 4 starts so far, ERA of 5.94, 262 batting average against, a 330 BABIP for Michael Boyd, the left-hander here. 30 starts, 3.2 ERA, 238 batting average against. Been very solid this year. Boyd's going to get run in that postseason series for sure as a starter in there. Let's see how you guys have, if you're there, yeah. I got Tang. I got Kane in the chat. He says the Mets don't play well on the road. Well, you can say that again. But again, it's mostly been the Mets just not playing well here right now. They actually are hitting pretty okay over the last month or so, probably hitting a little bit better than the Cubs overall. Boyd hasn't really been that sharp of late. When they've needed to be. So I'm going to go over here in this one at 7 over 25. Let's see here. In fact, I think some of the offshore books might even have it 7 under. Not every game even has this book listed yet here overnight, but I'm going to go over here with Mets and Cubs. All right, next up, we've got the Twins on the road taking on the Rangers, and the Twins got the win yesterday because the Rangers just can't beat the Twins. Not only that, I mean, the Rangers have squandered their opportunity for the playoffs this season with this woeful losing streak here, 8 games to basically take themselves out of the playoffs in an El Foldo. Minnesota here with Bradley. I think this can be an okay position given the fact that the Rangers have to be totally bummed, and Jake DeGrom's going to go out there and toil, even though big favorite here. I'm not going to be on the Rangers here. I'd rather take the Twins. They have a great series history right now against the Rangers here on the road, winning 18 of the last 14 of the last 18 meetings between the two teams here in Texas. Minnesota's won 12 of the last 18 between the teams overall. Texas has dropped 8 straight games. Minnesota, yeah, they've lost 5 of their last 7 coming in and 8 of their last 12 on the road, but I'll take them on the run line at least here. Plus 1.5 at minus $1.15 or so, I would think, with the Twins on the road at it's minus $1.35. All right, I'll do it. I'm still going to take the Twins here against Texas. I'm showing some of the books are up to $2 here. You got to be kidding me right now. Texas, an 8-game losing streak, a $2 favorite. Jake DeGrom, why would he be worried about going out there and dominating? I'll take Minnesota in a situation like this for sure. All right, and Kane says he'll take the under in the first fight. This is the Kane and Ramon show, after all. Kane says go under 3.5 in the first 5. This is what I look for, actually, so hopefully it'll pick up. If you've seen any of my shows, the audience participation is the most important part of the show. It's not what I think, it's what you guys think, although I'm going to try to guide you along the way and bring you some winners here on Night Moves. All right, next up, got the Royals here on the road, taking on the Angels with Kolek going here up against Kikuchi in this one. For Stephen Kolek here, he comes in with a 5-6 record and 18 starts, a 3.54 ERA, a 1.14 WHIP, 236 batting average against. You see Kikuchi, 6-11 record, 20-11 to the over with Kikuchi on the mound this season. 4.05 ERA and a 3.20 BABIP coming in. Kansas City's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. The Angels have gone over in 6 of their last 9. The Angels have won just 1 of their last 11 games overall. Angels have also gone over in 5 of their last 7 at home. Royals have won 4 of 6 coming in, but I'm going to go over here in this one with Kansas City and LA at 8.5. Under minus 115 right there. I think we're seeing 8.5 under 20 now, even a little bit of a move to the under, it feels like, but not for me. I'm going over, and so is my man Kane. Might be Kane and I here on night moves. Okay, next up, got another one here with the Dodgers on the road taking on Arizona Diamondbacks. And you've got Snell going here for the Dodgers against Ryan Nelson. Pretty good matchup here for Blake Snell. 5-4 record, 2.44 ERA, 3.23 BABIP. Not that impressive, but he does have a 2.29 batting average against. So, Snell can deal here at any time. It's just that he's not going to run very deep, and then you got to get into that Dodger bullpen again. But Ryan Nelson here, I kind of like his situation here, maybe as a dog. Important game here, of course, because Arizona needs to win. They're trying to catch the Mets here, 1 game back, as we said. Dodgers, meanwhile, they're trying to hold off the Padres by 1.5 games. So I keep saying the Padres are trying to catch the Cubs. They're still trying to catch the Dodgers, too. That way they would host either the Mets or the Diamondbacks or the Reds. They're not done. We're not settled yet. With 5 games left here, 4 games left here, basically in the season right now. So I think 4 or 5 for most teams right now. I think the Padres, let me see, they're 87 and 71. So 4 games left, and the Dodgers have 5 games left. That's why they are 1.5 games back in the standings currently. So, okay, so the Dodgers bullpen, yes, it's been a disaster here, but this is a big game. I think Ryan Nelson probably is able to deal. Snell usually performs pretty well in these situations. They've got to extend him as much as they can. And same thing with that Ohtani game the other night, right? I mean, maybe the Dodgers are doing it all backwards here at this point. Arizona's definitely had their own share of issues in the bullpen as well. Bullpen ERA over 5 at home. So I still want to go under in this game with LA and Arizona. I've got both these starters running well, and the fact that the total here, and maybe I was just a little jaded by the push there at 9 yesterday. It is 8.5 here. I get that, but still have a Dodgers team that's gone 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Let me see what you guys. I got some comments here from Kane. Thank you, Kane. Diamondbacks first 5 and D-backs money line. Arizona owns the Dodgers, and you're getting them as a dog here, right? So I got you, Kane. Great job. Thank you. All right, I'm going to take the under, though. Kind of goes against my own little handicap there, but I didn't get over yesterday, and I like the starting pitching here in this one, in this important game. Okay, now Seattle, they might be a little bit more apt to be celebrating here. It feels like their postseason clinch, their division title, their win with their 5th in a row last night. They could still catch Toronto for the top spot, but they're down by 2 games with 5 games to go here right now, but they're hot. They could still do it, and maybe they're 3 clear of Cleveland, so that might be okay. Not saying they're going to take a day off here necessarily against Colorado, but if this was one where you would. For Castillo here, 10-8 with a 3.63 ERA, 1.22 whip, 250 batting average against. For Colton Gordon, he is 6-7, and the Rockies are 7-7 with Gordon on the mound. I find that interesting. He's got a 6 ERA and a 3.30 BABIP. in talking to some maybe I was a little hard on yesterday's starter. Brown. He didn't pitch great. He didn't pitch terrible in that game, but he does have some potential. And Gordon maybe the same, maybe not like Brown, but Colorado still lost 9 of their last 10 games on the road. They've lost 6 of the last 7 to Seattle, and they've dropped 13 of their last 16. We know Seattle right now. Uh, you know, totally on a big time winning streak here coming into this one. They were able to extend it last night with a 4-3 victory. So, it was the winning streak here that's really done it for them down the stretch. They've also won 9 straight at home right now. 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and I'm going to take the under between these two tonight, Colorado and Seattle. Okay, and Kane's with me. Yeah, we're watching, and he says you're watching that tennis action. Yeah, we got some action here in China underway here when we're doing the night moves. A couple of good matches here tonight. All right, got a couple more here for you right now. We've got the Cardinals taking on the Giants, and got Sonny Gray going up against Ray here last night. I believe it is over there for the Giants now following last night. So Robbie Ray does come in here with a 3.65 ERA, 1.21 whip. The St. Louis hasn't been really hitting that well over the last month, and Gray hasn't been too terrific. This will probably be when San Francisco gets it together and wins now here, and Cardinals were able to pull that one off yesterday. Cardinals have won 5 of the last 6 here against San Francisco. They've won 4 of their last 5 overall. The Giants faded down the stretch here, losing 5 of their last 6 games. 10 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone over. The Giants have gone over in 9 of their last 15 overall, and 4 of the last 5 have gone over between these two here in San Francisco. So I'm going to go over in this one with the Cardinals and the Giants on Tuesday. Or on Wednesday. On Wednesday. All right. Kane says he'll take the Cardinals. Can't take the Giants as a favorite here. And I got one more for you here. That's really it for the show today. Just Major League Baseball pretty much. But do have the Astros here going up against the A's. And the A's are the ones that are closing here. It feels like right now it could be Hunter Brown going up against JT Ginn. For Brown here, 30 starts, a 2.30 ERA, 1.22 whip, 260 batting average against, but a 330 BABIP. But interesting to note, I mean, make sure I got the right graphic. Oh, yeah, there we go. For Brown here, let me give you the right stats, gang. I think I was reading the yesterday's picture here. I might have been. I'm reading downtown. No, that wasn't downtown Brown stats. This is Hunter Brown, a 2.30 ERA, whip of 198 batting average against. Good season here for Brown. The Astros are 18-12 with Brown on the mound, 12-8 this year. He's up against. I've got JT Ginn here going in this one for the Athletics. Here for Ginn, 30 starts, a 2.3 whip, 2.3 ERA, 101 whip. So Ginn has done a nice job, but actually he's been a lot better actually on the road than at home. The A's have, been finding ways to get it done here for sure. Brown's been terrific, no doubt about it. Here of late, all season actually. A's have gone under in 4 of their last 5 games coming in. Houston's gone under in 6 of their last 8 games on the road. And even though yesterday we were here in West Sacramento where the runs have been flying out of the ballpark, yesterday was 5-1. So I'm going to go under here in this one with the Astros and the A's on Wednesday night. It's going to do it here for Night Moves. I want to thank my special guest. It was Kane in the chat. Thank you, Kane. You took the over with me. Kane says Severino is going to go tomorrow. I did see Severino as well, but I believe it's going to end up being Ginn here in the end. In that one, Kane. Maybe it will be Severino, but my research tonight when I was looking at it, I think they have moved from Severino to Ginn in this game. So I try to make sure we get it kind of right anyway. But I do agree with you that it definitely had Severino there early on. All right, that's going to do it here for Night Moves, gang. Really appreciate you joining me here. Really don't have much else for you tonight on the card. We did see WNBA last night, right? We'll see what happens now moving forward. We gave you one winner on the show last night with Phoenix with that 20-point comeback against the Lynx. What a job by Phoenix. Minnesota, they just got a little too complacent. Phoenix kept on coming, and man, Phoenix is going to be a real problem now, wrestling that home court advantage from Minnesota in the best of 5 as they go 1-1 there right now. And the Aces were able to get it done. We tried to come back with Indiana, but the Aces ended up crushing last night, 90-68 in an under. So that series still at 1 as well. The Fever have the home court advantage there in that other WNBA semifinal. They'll resume on Friday. Vegas is going to be a 4.5-point favorite on the road against Indiana, and Minnesota is going to be a 4.5-point favorite on the road against Phoenix. Home dog action there, it feels like. Come there on Friday when they move to the other city. So thank you again, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with more Night Moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Make sure you're joining in all the fun with the Tony's Picks morning show tomorrow morning. We also have, of course, the happy hour in the afternoon. Make sure to catch all the videos from our crew with them loaded up there. You got Al with his underdogs. You've got we saw in the chat Chris with his home run props tomorrow. I didn't take any props on the show tonight. I was supposed to kind of feature the props. So, hey, make sure you go on over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at what we have to offer with our team of handicappers over at Tony's Picks. Yesterday, I was taking a look at some of the hot cappers on the site, and who do I see up there at the top? Look at the crew here, if you will. Look at Ron Crawford right there, 4-2. I went 2-0-1. There's Justin at 3-1, and there's Chris. Justin at 3-1-1. There's Chris at 2-1. Great job by the crew here. Let's see what Ron was up to yesterday. 4 winners. That led all the cappers at least, and he's been hot there. 3.5 units this week. Look at the last 7 days. 5-0 on the pitch. 4-1-1 in the NFL. 2-0 in the CFL. Just when Ron's perfecting the CFL, they went and changed the rules for next season. 4-2 in the WNBA, and he's off to a good start in college football. Ron, great job here at Tony's Picks. Let's see what he had last night on these winners. He had his KBO play one with Samsung Lions on the run line. He took Villarreal in that win over Sevilla 2-1. He had the Mercury plus the points, and he had the over in the Mercury Lynx game as well. Great job, Ron. Go over to Tony'sPicks.com and check us out. Click on the Premium Picks tab. There you'll see kind of the best records there coming in. And then the picks that are coming up from the crew. You see Rod's got his MLB Wednesday Birdcage in there. You've got Sean with his Major League Baseball moneymaker for tomorrow loaded up. David Racy's got his MLB base hit for Wednesday. Alessandro, Al's got his MLB best bet going for Wednesday. And get with the crew over at Tony'sPicks.com. Save 15% when you use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Ben's got his 3-pack loaded up, and Shane Mickle, writer extraordinaire, got a 3-pack for the Wednesday card. There's Al in there, Al Ninos with his NFL Sunday kickoff. Check us out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Click on the handicapper leaderboards, see who's hot, and then get signed up. All right, and that's going to do it here for Night Moves. Catch you tomorrow here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. We'll have a big day with Thursday football in store. Thanks a lot for joining me. Catch you tomorrow here on Night Moves.